You're listening to the Second Opinion Podcast. This podcast has been brought to you by Second Opinion Productions. Gaming is our passion. Podcasting is our profession. Make sure to check us out at secondopinionpod.com.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Second Opinion Podcast, episode number 159. We're back from Quakecon. It was an amazing event, and I am joined by my partner in crime, Jen Phoenix Fire. What's up, Jen?
Oh, not too much going on here. Not too much at all.
Not too much. If I remember correctly, I think someone has a birthday tomorrow.
Yeah, if you remember correctly. Ha! Ha! Like, I don't give it away in my gamer tag with the 0729 at the end of it. Yeah, okay.
And like I said earlier, you're going to be 18 or 19 tomorrow, so
I wish.
Start's over.
Yeah. Long time ago.
Oh, man. So we're going to start with you. What have you been drinking? What have you been gaming, Jim?
Drinking, again, not really much of anything. Although, like, the other day I ordered Chinese food, and they gave me ginger ale, which was really weird. I don't know why I got free ginger ale with my Chinese food. And now I have an urge to go out and buy some Jameson so I can mix it with the ginger ale. But I haven't yet, because, leaving the house and shopping and socialization. Blah! Down with all of that. Gaming-wise, again, not playing much. I did do some gaming, although because I haven't gamed in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But I turned on my Xbox and played some Witcher because it had been a while and I missed it. It was getting lonely. And I also then plugged in my PS4 and attempted to do some Rocket League.
It's so good. It's so much fun, man.
It's horrible because I'm still getting used to the controller.
And for real, like, it takes time to get used to it because of the boost, and even whenever you use the handbrake, it's really fast paced.
Yeah, so it's been a mess because, again, I'm not used to a PS4 controller at all. Because I haven't used one in forever, and I'm trying to get... So this is probably not the best game.
Probably not the best game to start out on.
But regardless, I've been running into things, and I think I scored a goal by accident.
Hey, you scored, though. It doesn't matter. You scored.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think I played anything else.
Okay. Well, drinking-wise, I haven't been drinking much. We did drink a little bit at the Quakecon House of Blues party, and that was always fun, like every year. But outside of that, I haven't been drinking too much. Gaming-wise, I've been gaming some stuff that I'll talk about in just a minute, which was fantastic. While we were at Quakecon, I did bring my games case, and me and my brother and my wife, we were playing some Rocket League, and we were heavily invested in beating the shit out of each other in Mortal Kombat X because Tremor has launched, and he is a fantastic character, but me and my brother were more or less playing Predator against Predator. Like, every character my brother was choosing this weekend, I would choose the same exact character with a different variation, different costume, so he would get really pissed off, but it was good times, totally. But that's really pretty much it. I mean, outside of, like, gaming and whatever. This episode of the podcast is going to be a little different. It's more or less kind of a retelling of what happened at Quakecon and how much I really wish Jen would have been there.
Someday I'll...
Next year, Jen. Next year. You have to go next year. It's going to be really good. You got to go. It's your perfect place. And plus... You can, we'll get something set up. We'll request for 3 BYOC seats. We'll bring the games cases, and whatever else. If you want to bring your PC, then we can do that too. And, we'll have our own little area set up to where we can play games all weekend. We'll do it. We're gonna do it, Jen. It's gonna be next year. Second Opinion takes over the BYOC. Back to Quakecon. It was a flippin' amazing event, dude. Like, it was probably one of the best QuakeCons in a good couple of years. Although, the one thing that I've noticed over the past couple of years, it seems like the exhibit floor is getting smaller and smaller. Now, I don't know if that's because the exhibitors that were originally going, they couldn't, they didn't want to pay the price or something like that or what, but there wasn't much on the exhibit floor this year outside of game devs, little small game devs. I think there were actually a couple of them that were supposed to be there, but they kind of dropped out last minute. But the one thing that I will get down into first, before I talk about the big presence of Fallout and Doom, was a surprisingly big presence for Bombshell. And I got to play Bombshell this weekend. I actually played it twice. Altogether, it was about 30 minutes of gameplay that I did. And I got to give big shout-outs to our friend Becky, OMG Laser Kittens. She was so awesome this weekend. And even Frederick, Andrew, who was the music producer. The whole team from 3D Realms and Interceptor, and it was such an awesome booth. They had a little bit of trouble at the beginning with some of the PCs not working properly, but afterwards when they got that kind of debugged, it was such a good game, Jen. Oh my god. I cannot wait until you get a chance to play it.
I'm really excited for it. I didn't get a chance to. I was supposed to see it at PAX East.
Yeah.
But they ended up having a problem. It had crashed Becky's laptop. When I was during my meeting time. So we were trying to reschedule it, but just our schedules didn't mesh because of everything else that I had booked. So I didn't have a chance to see it. So I'm excited to see it for PAX Prime because I've been excited for this for a little while. It looks really cool. I love the way it looks.
I'm thinking they're going to have it playable, obviously, hopefully. I think a lot of people are going to be really excited about it. I think a lot of people are going to think that it's have the same feeling that I had, that it's a great over-the-top classic style shooting game that has a lot of... It doesn't ever take itself too seriously. And I really thought at first, like I told Frederick and them, I thought that it was just going to kind of be somewhat of a copy of a Doom title. Because, in the past, they've had over-the-top style Doom games, and I was thinking, well, this is just going to be another one, but it really sets itself, to the side of being its own title, the graphics in the game are fantastic, the voiceovers are amazing, even the story of the game is beautiful. I love how, I don't want to give it away too much, but the bad guy, one of the bad guys used to be a coworker of yours and shit, and there was all kinds of stuff in the game that was just awesome, and I really, really loved it, man. I can't wait until it comes out to console. Now, they didn't give an exact release date, and I don't want to say exactly what was told to me on the podcast and get myself in trouble for saying it. But they were they plan on releasing it sometime this year. And I don't want to say, like I said, I don't want to say exactly what I was said, or what was said to me. But it will be, let's just say, it will be in between now and December. So. Well,
that's already been said. So you're not.
That's already been. That's already been said.
I believe the actual announcement, not on the podcast, but I believe they had said it was late summer, early fall.
Yeah, it was. Let's say it like this: it was originally supposed to be launched next month,
right?
And they've decided to kind of hold off on it because they're still working on some co-op aspects. That they didn't. They basically said that they didn't want to launch the game and the co-op still be broken.
Right.
And that was a really awesome thing for them to say, because they even brought up, Frederick and even Becky, saying there's been too many games launched this year that haven't been, properly launched, and they didn't want, to release a game that was half broken. So It's not going to be in August, but it'll be sometime after that. So just chill, people. You will get your hands on it. If you're not going to PAX Prime, it will be coming out sometime this year for consoles, for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And you can definitely assure yourself that we'll be doing a review on Second Opinion Productions for this game. I'm really excited for it. I can't wait to play some co-op with Jen on PS4.
Oh, it'll be a mess. I'm so bad with shooters.
But it was actually like really awesome. And another thing that was really crazy too is that Dave Oshry was there as well, and they gave away 100 limited edition, like super limited edition, Rise of the Triad albums, and they put it on CD and everything. And I got one of them, and Andrew actually like signed it. He was doing a signing for it. He was signing his name on everything.
Oh, I saw that. I saw those on Twitter. That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, it was really, really awesome that they did that. And actually, another thing, with the release of the album, they did a special sale online, and Rise of the Triads is only at $2.99 right now on Steam. So definitely make sure to check that out. But like I said, I got in line and I was getting an album, and I looked up and Andrew was staring at me, and I was like, bro, you know I had to come get one. He was like, go fuck yourself, man. I just started laughing, and like, seriously, like those guys and even Becky and them, they're such an awesome team, dude. Like everything that they do is awesome. Andrew was like, it's crazy that, I've only known Andrew for a couple of years, and he's just so humbled when people tell him he does a good job, and and he does. I mean, he does. He's one of the most. He is probably one of the most. I don't know how to really even explain it. Like he never. He's his biggest critic, and and it's just so awesome to see him come from where he was to what he does now, being even the producer, the music producer on Bombshell. But like he wrote on there, he's like, to celeb from Andrew, and then on the bottom he's like, you fucking rock. And I told him afterwards, like, man, you didn't have to put that. He's like, no, for real, man, you're awesome. You've always been a big supporter, and I just love those guys over there. Just like how Jen feels about Becky. She knows how awesome Becky is, and of course, Jen, I wish you would have seen my brother this weekend, man. Whenever we were at the party, him and Derek got a little too intoxicated.
Oh God, is he anything like you when you're drunk? Because I don't know.
No, he was pretty. He was chill.
He was giving business cards to the wait staff that are like, no, sir, I'm okay.
I'm just text me, tweet me. No, he wasn't that bad. But like I remember, like whenever we went back to the hotel, and I hope to God he never listens to this episode because he'll kill me for saying it. We went back to the hotel. He was acting a little crazy or whatever. But then afterwards, like I remember we got back up to the room, and he was like, man, who is that chick I was talking to at the House of Blues that was sitting right next to me, man? Dude, she had some legs that were like out of this world. I was like, that's my friend Becky from 3D Realms. Oh my God, dude. He was like, oh. So the next day I brought it up to him. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, that's all you talk about last night is Becky and how good looking she was. She was like, dude, I don't even remember talking to Becky last night.
Oh my God.
I was like, dude, you're ridiculous, man. But I even stopped Becky in the middle of them. I stopped Becky in the middle of them talking, and I was like, I said, look at my brother's face right now. And she like turned and looked at him, and I said, you see how his eyes are slowly closing? He doesn't even know the conversation y'all are having right now. And she just started laughing. She was like, that's how everybody is. But anyways, it was just an awesome party. It was awesome time spending it with all those guys, and Frederick, he's going to come on the podcast and talk about Bombshell. And Becky said, like, she said it to me like 4 times. She's like, we got to come back on the podcast. It's like, totally. It's going to happen. So outside of that, we walked around the BYOC. We talked about, we did some recording, which I'm going to have those videos posted tomorrow, hopefully, of the full BYOC. There was a lot of times I had to stop recording. It was so worse this year than what it was previous years. There was tons of people walking through the BYOC. Most of the times I'm usually able to go on the outside without any interruptions. I had to stop recording like I swear to God, Jen, at least 15 times. Because, like, there was one time this dude, like, literally was looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and he sees the camera and the light, and then he just, like, walks right in front of me, and he turns back. And I, like, put the camera down to my side, and he's like, oh, did I get in your shot? And I was like, dude. And I just, like, turned around and walked off. And he actually started laughing. He was like, and I was like, motherfucker, you better be glad, dude. You better be glad that I love this event so much, or I would punch you right in the fucking mouth.
Oh, God,
but it was, and I'm going to have to edit the shit out of the videos to get them at least somewhat proper because, but we're planning on having a little bit better setup next year. We're going to get a shoulder mount for our camera. And,
not quite a selfie stick.
Not as fucking, you know, like this year we had, I ordered a new X grip. You remember the black X grips that me and Jason got for PAX East a while back? I ordered a new one that was like orange, and it had this little bottom hand mount. But the videos are still like shaky, so I told Dara that this next time around, I'm gonna order a shoulder mount. I'm gonna order all kinds of shit. I'm gonna have the hand mounts on there, so if I get bumped, there's no fucking type of like big ass shakiness on the videos.
I saw one that like clips to your like baseball hat brim.
What the
I was gonna,
like this is perfect for
tweet it to you while you're at Quakecon.
I would totally
show
fucking
me
buy
about
that.
the whole gold pole incident.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that were actually walking around with like GoPros strapped on their head this year, so I was like, but anyways, so we walked around the BYOC, we walked around the exhibit hall as well. And they had Fallout Shelter there. They announced that Fallout Shelter will be coming to Android August 13th, which I'm really excited about. And they did a lot of the Quake trials. They did all kinds of stuff. But the two biggest things at the show, obviously, were Doom and Fallout. Now, first off, I'll talk about Doom. I was walking through the show floor at like 10:30 on Thursday morning, and we were just looking around and stuff, and I walked to the back, and there was this big-ass black curtain, and there was a group of people standing in front of it. All of them had Doom shirts on, and at the very top there was a sign that said Bethesda and its software. So I look at Dara and Matthew, and I'm like, you know we're going to be able to play Doom, right? And they're like, what? I was like, we're going to be able to play Doom. And they're like, well, it didn't say, Dara's like, it didn't say anything like that on the list or whatever. And I said, I'm telling you, there's a giant fucking black cloth with a huge Bethesda id Software sign, and there's like a team of people standing out in front of it. We're going to be able to play. So, like, I swear, about 15, 20 minutes after that, a friend of mine, Roberto, messaged me on Facebook. He works for id Software, and he's like, hey, dude, you at the welcoming announcement stuff? And I said, no, not there. He said, well, you might want to show up. So whenever I got there, Pete Hines was on stage. He was talking about the amazing Fallout Anthology Edition that is launching that will actually have all the Fallout games available, and it comes in a mini nuke case. Like, it looks like a mini nuke from Fallout. I can't even remember the actual price. I think it's like $100.
No, I think it was like $49.99.
Was it $49.99?
Something. I was gonna order one, and I'm like, I don't have Amazon Prime anymore, and then I have to go through that whole problem of my PC not having space, and
yeah, it is. It's $49.99. You're right.
Of course I'm right. Really?
So it is $49.99 for PC. It comes with a mini nuke case. I'm actually thinking about buying this now because I thought it was $100. Yeah, I think I'm going to.
Yep, decisions made. Yep.
So, anyways, it was pretty cool. And then they also showed off that they had some Steam sales that were, you could get like $357 worth of Bethesda games for $99 on Steam as a big bundle. It was really cool that they gave that bundle or made that bundle for, I guess, like they made it accessible like right then and there. It said you can go on Steam and buy it right now. And then after that, oh my God, let me pause this real quick, Jen. Somebody's knocking at the door.
Okay.
Hang on. Okay. I'll be right back.
Okay.
But, like, it was a really good Steam sale, though. And it was, like I said, it was really awesome that they actually gave consumers the ability to purchase it while at Quakecon. So they can go back through. And, of course, you know, with it being Quakecon, they had the amazing AT&T 2 gig download, 2 gig upload speed. So it was awesome, awesome connection speed that they were actually able to do, you know, while at the event and whatever else. So anyways, but right whenever I walk out, Roberto messages me back and he's like, hey, you might want to come back in here. And I'm like, I said, hey, I already know what they're going to announce. And he's like, what's that? And I said, we're going to be able to play Doom. And he was like, how'd you know that? So, everybody that was there, they actually got to play it Thursday. They gave them these little cards, which made it accessible for them to play it first before anybody else, if you had one of those cards. But then Friday morning we had a press hour that was from 9 to 10, and it was like me, Dara, some volunteer veterans from the event, and like 2 other people, and we were the first ones there for the press hour. So we actually got to line up and play the game, and I pretty much played it the entire hour. I didn't go look at anything else but Doom. And man, oh man, it was so freaking good, Jim. It was so good. I just did my full impressions. You can check that out at secondopinionpod.com. I have the full impressions posted up right now. But it was so good. It was so fast-paced. They had everything back. Like, they had the quad damage. They had invisibility. They also had this stuff that was, like, demon runes, to where these runes would actually, like, pop up during the map. Like, you only had one map that we could play on. But these little runes would pop up, and they look like little pentagrams. And, like, you run your character into that pentagram, and he changes into a demon. And while he's a demon, he actually, like, you can fly around with him and shoot these rockets out of his jetpack, and it's like insta-kill. Like, right whenever you shoot him, it's automatic death. So it was awesome, man. Like, they had I think the layout, weapon layout that I had a shotgun, I had a rocket as my secondary weapon, and then as my, like, grenade or whatever, my third choice, I had this, like, throwable portal. So, like, there was 2 guys, like I said in my video, there was like 2 guys running at me, and I was getting one of them. He was pretty close to death, but the other one ran up right at the last minute, so I threw the teleporter in between them, and it landed on the wall behind them. I pushed LB on the Xbox One controller, and I popped up right behind them, and I shot the rocket, and it killed both of them at the same time. I was like, holy shit, that is an amazing tool to use in game. But it was really fast-paced. It was an unbelievable experience. It was everything I think Doom fans have wanted. Now, I know, Jen, I know that you're not a huge first-person shooter fan.
I get motion sick. It's not that I'm not a fan. I just have really bad problems playing.
That's how, I think that's pretty much how Dara is, too, because she didn't do amazing while playing the game, but she really liked it. She liked the feel of it and whatever. But you even know how big of a pull Doom has, and if it wasn't for games like Doom and Wolfenstein, I don't think the first-person shooter genre would ever be what it is right now, you know?
Right. It wouldn't. I mean, really?
Do what? Oh, yeah, exactly. I still think, too, you know, a lot of players that play Call of Duty and Battlefield and so on and so forth, they're not going to really be able to play this game the same way to do with that. And at the Doom panel, they talked about, some of the developers talked about how this isn't your normal run-of-the-mill first-person shooter. This is how first-person shooters are really supposed to be. You're not going to be able to camp at the top of the level and snipe people out. You're going to have to keep on moving. Even in the single player, you're going to have to keep moving because the AI will realize that you're kind of sitting in one spot and it will come to you instead of just kind of stopping and being like, oh, well, he's out of range. You know, we're going to have to back up. That's not how this game is, and that's not how the multiplayer is either. Even in Team Deathmatch, it's really, really fast-paced. It does remind me of Quake. There was a few things that it wasn't exactly like Quake with, but like I said, you know, if it wasn't for Doom, there would be no Quake. So Anyways, but it was pretty awesome experience playing Doom this weekend. But one of the biggest things that had people just all out freaking out about was Fallout 4. And whenever we got into the main stage, we actually all got these Vault Boy masks that we were able to wear. I don't know if you saw the pictures.
They're kind of creepy.
They are really fucking creepy. And Howard even said that, like, everybody was wearing them. And he kind of looked out. He said, hang on real quick, let me take a picture of everybody. And everybody put their masks on. And he took a picture, and he kind of looked at his phone. He said, those are really fucking creepy masks. But it was a really good presentation that they had with Fallout. We actually got to see gameplay that had never been shown off before anywhere else. It was exclusive to Quakecon. And first off, they kind of started out with a little bit of kind of talking about like some of the concepts of how they were coming about, how they, some of the characters came about and whatever else. One of the biggest things they talked about at first was meat bag and dog meat. I'm sorry, I said meat bag.
What was meat bag? Okay, meat bag.
I was saying that because I said that because I've been playing back through Fallout 3 on my PC since I had to go back through and actually like rewrite some of the shit to get it to work. Like I found this wiki of how to get it to work on Windows 8 when you download it from Steam, because it's only capable to play on Windows XP for some reason, compatible to play with Windows XP, so you have to get back in there and change stuff. But there's like, I'm in the Capital Wasteland and there's all these bags of meat hanging around of like mangled organs, so I've been telling Dara it's been kind of creeping me out recently, so that's on my mind. Anyway, what's really cool is that they actually watched and filmed a real dog for almost like 3 years. And the dog's name is River, and she is actually one of the game producers' dogs. And they showed this little clip, like this little short video of like River doing certain actions and jumping in water and fetching stuff and so on and so forth. It was a really cute video, but they kind of showed, they showed back and forth of like River doing something and then the dog meat in the game actually doing stuff, and it was pretty accurate. They did somewhat of the same stuff that like Call of Duty, Call of Duty Ghost did with their dog that they had in the game. It's just way better. So they also showed off Diamond City. It was actually Fenway Park in Boston, and
obviously.
They showed off one of the new companions. I think her name was Penny. They showed her off, and she was kind of a little bit of a smart mouth girl that, she kind of smart mouth her way into anything, and that's pretty much what happened during the level. She was trying to get into Fenway Park. Her name was Piper. I'm sorry. She was trying to get her way into the park, and she kind of just made some stuff up, and she was like just going along with it. And she was like, "Oh, you have all of this, all this stuff, like extra weapons and whatever. I guess somebody's gonna get in trouble for not taking all this stuff in." And then the mic cut on. He was like, "Okay, just give me a second. I'll open the door." And her and the mayor don't really see eye to eye, and it's really cool that they're going to have, that's one thing they talked about is the companions and characters in the game. They're actually going to have, I think, a total of 12 companions in the game, and you can actually romance every one of them. Now, the only one I think they said you can't romance is the robot, and I think the dog as well. The dog is one of your companions, but you can't romance the dog. But you can romance up to 10 companions, no matter the sex. So that's pretty awesome that they have the ability to do that. And also with your characters as well, there's over 1,000 names available. And what was really funny about Mr. Handy. They showed Mr. Handy saying a bunch of different names, like, Larry and blah, 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 whatever, Mr. Howard. And then at the very end, the last name he actually said, which is a programmable name, if you want your character's name to be this, he popped out and said, "I really need you to look at this, Mr. Fuckface." And it was so awesome that they actually had that in there. The room just like erupted. It was hilarious, but like I said, it's really, really cool what they showed off. They showed off a little bit more of the Pip-Boy and how it kind of comes to life compared to the previous game. They showed off the leveling system. It's a much higher, way more advanced leveling system. There's like this big poster that has, 7 to 10 different levels. And I think there's like all different types of ranks and multiple ranks and different ways of mixing your perks with your levels and so on and so forth. Not to get real too heavily in depth into it, but there's just they completely revamped the level up system the same exact way they did in Skyrim compared to the previous Elder Scrolls games. But another thing about Dogmeat is that Dogmeat actually senses threats this time. Now, in previous Fallout games, Dogmeat would, he would kind of walk around and he would growl a little bit, but he wouldn't actually he kind of had this basic motion of just a dog walking, and he would kind of start growling and then something would happen. Well, this time, Dogmeat actually, he'll point towards where the danger is actually going. So what they did is they showed off a level of Lexington, and Lexington is a city that was pretty much taken over by ghouls. And while you're walking, you see Dogmeat in the bottom right-hand corner or bottom left-hand corner. He starts kind of growling, and his body goes down a little bit, and he starts doing it just like a real dog, and he starts sensing. He kind of smells around for a little bit and walks over to this building, and he's growling even heavier. And whenever the character looks up, there's all kinds of fucking ghouls coming out. There's ghouls coming out from the walls, the windows, and the guy playing the gameplay demo kind of backs up a little bit and starts shooting at him. What's crazy about it is that in previous Fallout titles, whenever you kind of zoom in and you do the skillful shots, the skill shot or special skill shots, what's crazy about it is that most of the times whenever you shoot off their arms or their legs, they automatically die. Today I did that while I was playing Fallout 3, shot a ghoul in the arm, blew his arm off, and he died. He just fell over and he's blah. Well, in this one, they don't. When you shoot off their limbs, unless you actually kill them, they will not die. There was a point in time that this one ghoul had no arms, no legs, and he's on the ground with nothing but his torso and his head, and he's rah, rah. So the guy walks up behind him and blows his head off. But it's just crazy how different this game is. Now, the engine that they're using is a fully updated engine that they used previously. It's so much of a larger, more expansive experience than what previous Fallout games were. Now, all you guys that are Fallout fans out there, you know that the lockpick system's back. Also, the large variety of weapons is back as well. You can create your own weapons. You can even create your own houses. Now, one awesome thing about this is the reason why the game is actually launching November 10th, 2015, is the game is actually already pretty much done. In an episode of Bonus Round that had our friend Andrew Renee, and then it had Pete Hines, Jeff Keighley, Adam Sessler, and even Andrew Reiner from Game Informer, they talked about a lot of aspects of Fallout. And while he was on there, he brought up the fact that when they originally announced it, the game was actually 80-90% done. When it was actually announced, the game was essentially already done at the time. So they have been literally working on this. From what he says, they've literally been working on this since I think a day or 2 days after Fallout 3 launched. So and it's just
That's
really
a while.
I know, right? It's really awesome that they've been working on it so long. It's such a good feeling that you still have companies out there that don't want to announce a release date until they actually know the product is properly done. So they're still fixing on bugs and stuff right now. But it's cool that they actually already had it done, pretty much done whenever they announced the title, and its release date this past month. So, what else, man? What else? We checked out a lot of the DX Racer chairs, which I plan on getting one pretty soon. They look like pretty awesome chairs. I've seen a lot of people in the industry use them, and at first I was just like, it's just another chair. But then when I sat in one, while playing Doom. I was like, this chair's amazing.
They're so expensive.
They are expensive.
Like,
they
crazy
are
expensive. I mean,
I think it's like for the base model ones, they're like $399, and for the bigger, better ones, they're like $469.
I could get a stool at Walmart, put half that money in bills, and just put it in a couch cushion and put that on the stool, and it would be comfortable.
It's close enough.
Like,
it's called the Rebecca Racer.
See? Exactly.
So, and I don't know, our total overall experience at Quakecon was just awesome. The entire staff, the volunteer staff was amazing. The PR staff was unbelievable, like always. And it was just overall, it was a really great event. I had my ifs about the event ahead of time. I thought there was going to be a lot of problems with people trying to record Fallout, and there was not one leak. Like previous years. The only thing is, I missed Master Pancake Theater. Yeah, it sucked. Yeah, by the time we got down there, we were really tired from the whole thing that we had done throughout the day. By the time we got down there, the line was like crazy long, dude. There was no media line or anything like that, so it was just like really, really long line. So we're just like, don't worry about it. So we went to the tabletop area and actually played Phase 10 for like 2 hours. So, but that's pretty much it for Quakecon, man. It was a great event. I don't know. I guess this was all we really had to talk about this episode. Which I pretty much did all the talking.
Well, you went. I just be like, oh, yeah, someday, eventually I'll go. I plan on it at some point, getting there. Yeah.
You're going next year, Jen. You're going next year.
I might go next year.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
It's the whole, it's the finances. I just have to make sure I have the finances.
You don't have to, you don't have to worry about the finances. I could always pay for the room by myself.
Yeah, but
you don't have
still the parking, yeah, because that makes any sense.
the plane part.
That part, the transportation and getting there. Where is it, Dallas?
Just worry about going to PAX next year.
No, I like Seattle.
You've been every year.
Like Seattle, I love Seattle.
Anyways, all right, Jen, shout out.
Shout outs to you for doing the podcast. Yay, because we haven't done one in a little bit. Yeah. Shout outs to Jay, who couldn't be here because he's dining with his sister. Was that what's going on today? I don't remember.
I think that's what he said.
Okay. Shout outs to Toaster, who had a job interview today.
Yeah, shout outs to Big Toaster,
so
man.
Hopefully that went well.
Sorry I haven't called you back, Toaster.
You still haven't?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, he's actually in Massachusetts right now. He had a job interview, so he's not. He's back at home like tomorrow. Shout outs to my other wonderful locales, being mammothgamers.com. You should visit us there. We're wonderful there. Yay. illpopcorn.com. Our Ill Popcorn podcast, which is on a brief hiatus because people are doing stuff and moving around, so eventually we'll be coming back there. Shout outs to Dunham Gaming, which we just had an awesome Smash Brothers tournament this past weekend where we had 53 people show up. That was kind of awesome. We are actually selling shirts to help, grow the Smash community down in Virginia. So if anyone's interested, I will put the link in to the podcast because I'm full of shameless self-promotion there. And I think that's everything.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, shout outs to Jen. Shout outs to Dara for being awesome. Shout outs to my brother. Shout outs to the entire Bethesda team, Quakecon team, everybody for doing such an amazing job this year. There was a fight, though, at the Master Pancake Theater, and the dude got arrested. There was like two guys that stood up, started arguing, and then there was fists flying. So
really
strange. Yeah. Like everybody was talking about it. There was a fight at Master Pancake. So the dudes that started the fight, you're a bunch of douchebags. I'm sorry. But anyways, just shout outs to everybody, man. Shout outs to Becky, the whole team at 3D Realms. And I think that's it. So make sure to tune in next week to episode 160 of the Second Opinion podcast. Also, make sure to check out 3drealms.com, check out bombshellgame.com, I think that's what it is, or bombshell.com, and just check out the amazing products that they have over at bethblog.com as well. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Peace out.
Thanks for tuning in to the Second Opinion Podcast. This podcast has been brought to you by Second Opinion Productions. Gaming is our passion, podcasting is our profession. Check us out at secondopinionpod.com and make sure to follow us at Second Opinion Pro.